Hey you guys, Quiet This Music here, back with another music album review. This time around we are going to be discussing a critically controversial album. An album that I've noticed has gotten better with age now that the past months has passed by. The album in question is Utopia by Travis Scott. I have an interesting history with Travis Scott's music. Years ago, I think about 2018, I binge listened to all of Travis Scott's albums that were out at the time. I was completely turned off by his work. I wasn't really into anything except for two songs, Sicko Mode and Stop Trying to Be God. Those two songs slap. So I kind of wrote Travis Scott off as a mediocre trap rapper, unfortunately, which isn't true at all. One of my biggest mistakes is only listening to each of his albums only once instead of doing multiple listenings. Travis is an artist that grows on you, which is something I overlooked and regretted. Now the year is 2023 and I think Astroworld is quite a wild ride. I haven't re-listened to Rodeo, Birds, and Day Before Radio, but I do plan on getting to those albums again, re-listening to them. Because I need to, have a better understanding of his discography. Now let's talk about Utopia. Is it a flop like a lot of people are saying? We're going to dig into that right now. Utopia's opener, Hyena, is spelled completely wrong. It's a strong opener. The wordplay is Travis at his best. He makes a lot of references to things that I've never heard of until I read the Genius lyrics. The break on Hyena, which is said by Travis but sounds nothing like him, has a lot of meaning to it in my opinion, even though it's only 3 lines. What we know, where we shall go, power. I feel like the place we are going to that he's referring to in that part of the song is heaven, or some kind of utopian-like place. It only makes sense. A place with a lot of power would be heaven, wouldn't it? I also like how the song opens with a sample from a band called Gentle Giant and closes with another band sample, that band being Funkadelic. Gentle Giant is a band I've never heard of, but if I had to pick the sample I like the most, it would be the Gentle Giant one. Thank God feels like the textbook example of a Utopia song production wise. There's like so many beat changes and melody switch-ups on the song, just like so many other songs on this album. I like what Travis says on Thank God. He mentioned how he thanks God for the convenient life he gets to live, and he also seems to be mentioning how he's going to make an album that's better than Astroworld, and I honestly think he has done that. The song seems to be about making the most out of your life, practicing your freedom to do whatever you please, and not letting evil get in your way. Somehow biblical and existential at the same time. I also like how his daughter makes a 3-second cameo in the song. He's Father of the Year for that. Tizo Touchdown's verse on Modern Jam is weak. The track in general is one of the weakest on the album, unfortunately. Which is a shame because the current feature it boy in hip hop is on it, Tizo Touchdown. This guy's like on every album now. People love featuring Tizo Touchdown in their music. I do like that it uses production from an old I Am the God demo, truly showing how much influence Travis is taking from users. My Eyes is one of the best songs on the album. I'm in Love with the Beat Change. Part 1 of the song starts off with such a sweet sounding sentimental beat, and it changes into this very moving, powerful, uplifting song in part 2. You can really tell Travis is going through remorse for what happened at the Astroworld tragedy. He makes references to the event, the travesty, on My Eyes. The entire song seems to be about some of the issues he has been going through in his life, and I'm a sucker for artists opening up emotionally on a song. It's a great song. Travis Scott is the first artist I know that brags about his credit card and his credit score on a song. That's what makes God Country so special. I also like the quickness of God's Country and the 808s. Can't forget those la la las. Siren's intro samples yet again another rock band from a bygone era, creating a theme on the album. The song is solid and I really like the instrumental break at the end of the song. The outro of the song also serves as a kind of intro to the next track, which I like. What Drake says on the outro is also pretty important and interesting in my opinion. To Drake, a utopia is his hotel room. I guess what Travis is trying to say is utopias can be whatever the viewer makes it out to be. It's something subjective rather than objective. Drake and Travis dropped another banger on us with Meltdown. Not as good as Sicko Mode, but still a phenomenal collab song by them. Drake takes shots at Pusha T, Kanye, and Pharrell, but I feel like he's a little bit too late to be trying to, dissing them on a song like this. I will say, I do like the rhyme scheme Drake uses on his verse. He says shit like 100 times. You gotta love it. And once again, the beat change hits on this one. Travis also had a pretty dope verse too. Fane is a banger, but boy is it a strange one. The chorus of the song is said by Travis Scott, but it sounds so much like Playboi Carti to the point that it's very jarring. And the part where Carti actually raps, he sounds completely different to anything he's ever done on a song. He's doing a completely different voice that we've never heard before. He sounds like a mix of Young Thug and his regular rapping voice. Honestly makes the song unique just off of the cadence they both use. I'm sure they're using effects too though. I have a feeling we'll be hearing this Carti voice on the next Playboi Carti album, whenever that's dropping. Del Resto is a wonderful piece of art pop placed smack down in the middle of a psychedelic rap album. Beyonce is really channeling her inner Bjork in this one. The same with Travis as well, because the production sounds very Bjorkish. I haven't listened to Renaissance yet, but I feel like a lot of the songs are like this one. The song is so beautifully meaningless. They're not saying much, but the way Beyonce is singing on the track is just so poetic. The word play on Utopia Twins is unmatched compared to all the other songs on this album. 21 really outdid himself. The same as Rob 49. There's so many double entendres and triple entendres on this one. It's really impressive. Not to mention the cool ass beat. Circus Maximus's production has a striking resemblance to the percussion on Kanye West's Black Skinhead. A good friend of mine pointed that out to me. Not only is the production similar, he also references Black Skinhead. If you couldn't tell already, Travis has a thing for Yeezus. The Weeknd's voice is beautiful as usual, but I feel Sway Lee is a bit underutilized on this track. Carousel is a slow but short song. It has this really almost teardrop inducing acoustic guitar melody that makes me feel a bit euphoric whenever I hear it. Young Lean really did his thing on this one, and Dave Chappelle is a feature I didn't know I needed. It's Dave Chappelle, like, on an album, making music. I didn't know this guy could sing. He sings a bridge on this one, and I love the bridge to death on this song. I feel like it continues the existential theme I picked up on one of the previous tracks. He also did the intro, and I'm a sucker for songs that convey a never give up attitude in their lyrics. Schizo is a multi-part, ever-changing roller coaster of a track. This song is terrible if you don't like beat changes, because there's 3 major beat changes that happen on this track. Each one is rewarding, so it's not for nothing. I feel like Thugger is the weakest aspect of this track because Travis carries this song vocally. Weakest doesn't mean bad though. The first beat is good, and then there's this small instrumental break that happens, and that leads to the second beat, which is worse than the first one. But the third beat is phenomenal. I can imagine mosh pits starting from this one, mainly because it gives off some serious punk rock energy. Then the last beat makes you feel emotional because it's a very sad, melancholic sounding beat. I said beat a lot. Lost Forever starts off with this really pleasing vocal sample. I love it so much. It actually uses 2 different samples. The part where it says, "Have you ever been lost?" and "Forever" are actually 2 different samples. They go so well together, it's not really noticeable unless someone tells you. This song yet again has another beat change, and it is the coldest beat change on this project. Okay? The transition between the 2 beats is just so cool and never gets old. You'll have a stank face like this the moment you hear it. Not to mention, West Side Gun destroys the beat. It's not even funny. The fact I'm hearing West Side Gun ad-libs on a Travis song is unreal. Love is a bit underwhelming. The chorus is catchy, but the refrain, which is spoken by Travis in this really weird, shouty voice, is annoying to hear. There are parts of the song where the chorus is followed up by the refrain, and it's annoying to hear. Really jarring. You have this one part that's good, but on the other hand, the next part that follows it, not so good. There was none of a Kid Cudi's signature humming on this one, which is unfortunate, because I love when Kid Cudi hums. This guy knows how to hum. His verse isn't anything spectacular. It just keeps the song going. Cudi's verse, to be exact. For some reason, K-pop sounds like something Kendrick Lamar would rap over. I like the beat, it's really bouncy and it sounds almost tribal or tropical, or a mix of both. Bad Bunny, I have no idea what he's saying, but he did his job on this one. His job being adding some Latin to the mix. The Weeknd I feel is a bit better on this one, probably because I'm more used to his kind of music. Funny enough, the song doesn't sound K-pop-ish at all. The song is a reference to ketamine, a ketamine pop, like a lollipop you eat. It has nothing to do with the music genre known as Korean pop, K-pop. Telekinesis was my favorite track when I first heard it. It's really a standout track. One notable part of the song is when Travis says, "You know the future of the bounce?" And then this really bouncy 808 just starts playing. The production and lyrics are complementing each other. It's really clever. It's small details like that I appreciate. The song is about anticipating a future that is bright, like a utopia, and perfect, like a utopia. It's also commenting on this in a biblical sense, referencing Jesus Christ, who will lead us to a brighter tomorrow once he comes back. I'm an atheist, but I can get behind the message of this song. Future, I feel, doesn't do a good job at pushing the message of this song. I liked his verse on this one, but it could have been better if he had rapped about less ignorant topics. SZA stands out because she had the privilege to rap on this song when the beat change hits, and boy is it so beautiful. Her part in this song is made much better because of the sudden change of production. Utopia's closer, I am proud to say, nails the landing. I absolutely love the chorus on Till Further Notice because of what it's trying to accomplish. The album is asking the listener a question of what will you do now that you've finished the album on the chorus of the closer. It's pretty clever, and I feel the bigger meaning of the question is, what will you make of your life now that you have discovered utopia? I'm sticking with the idea that a utopia is a subjective thing and is what you make your life out to be. You have to find perfection in your own matter. Travis even stated it himself, utopia is what you make it out to be. Those weren't his exact words though. I'm still searching for my utopia, and I know I'll find it one day, but I feel like I won't be able to answer the question that this album is trying to ask at this point in time. I also like how the song is called Till Further Notice, and it's the closer. The phrase till further notice is a temporary goodbye, so I feel like we're going to be seeing more Travis Scott in the future because it's temporary. At least that's my guess. So Utopia is another solid album by Travis. I really feel like he's wearing his influences on his sleeves on this one, specifically his Kanye West influences. The album really is a practice of what Kanye did on Yeezus, if you couldn't tell by all the nods he makes to Yeezus on this album. This album is very unconventional to the point that it scared the normies away and got panned by a good amount of critics. But I can also see this album becoming an influential cult classic in a few years, just like what happened to Whole Lotta Red. So many people said Whole Lotta Red was trash, and then they grew on them. Like I mentioned before, it gets better with age. I feel like Travis is the most mainstream experimental rapper out right now. His sound is so unique, and once you hear it, you know it's him. Experimentation is a beautiful aspect to have as an artist, in my opinion. Of course, I would think so. I'm a Def Grips fan. Yeah, I'm comparing Travis to Def Grips. Fight me. The album is in no way perfect though. I have to be in a mood to listen to it usually. I'm gonna give this one a personal score of 7.2 out of 10 and a critical score of 8.5 out of 10. And that's all she wrote for today, guys. It's been Quiet Does Music. Out.